This week, the space shuttle gets a bitchin' camo paint job. We use chicken Alfredo to secure a date, and we find a new appreciation for juice made not from concentrate. All that and more on this week's episode of...
I have nothing to say this week, but I have a lot of things to say this week later in the show.
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Welcome, everybody, to yet another week of Another Wasted Hour. As you know, this next hour of your life is going to be replaced with two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you where we hail from just outside Washington, D.C. is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture. As impossible as that may seem. So listeners, now that you know why you're here, like that late night that you binged on Free Falling, Won't Break Down, and Last Dance with Mary Jane, in studio we have Petty Indulgences. Everybody say hi. We have Phil.
Hello.
Hello, Phil. And we have Kike.
Hey, sexy podcast listeners.
That's good. I like that. You're going for like the sex line sound. That's good. Well, you're trying to seduce them into liking you, which I
Can't quit our day jobs.
I dig.
You know?
I just scream at them. I'm like, you better like me. And if you don't like me, I don't know. I guess you'll turn this off. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. I assume that you guys are a Tom Petty cover band, right? Is that what you guys do?
Not exactly.
No. All original music.
All original music.
Oh, my goodness. That's disappointing, guys. I was really hoping that it was just going to be, I mean, I miss him dearly. I mean, we just lost him, just like last year. So I was hoping you would fill that, that heart-shaped hole in my body. But
No,
Well,
that's
stay
Phil.
tuned. Stay tuned. That is something that we got a lot when we first started.
Yeah.
And we started having conversations about that. And then obviously you passed and we weren't sure if it would be in good taste.
That's true. Yeah.
So
you might have to give it a little time to settle in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, Adam. The guy's name is Phil, for God's sakes. He should be able to fill that hole in my heart.
I know, right?
So excellent. Welcome to the show. Your guys are here because you got a big show coming up on Saturday, June 30th at the Vinyl Lounge. Mm-hmm. That's down in Washington, D.C., in case people don't know, right by Gypsy Sally's. It's like a smaller venue just downstairs, if I remember right. Is that how
It's
that works?
next to it, in the alley.
Oh, okay. Next to it in the alley. Free show,
Yes.
which is always great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you also wanted to come on. You're going to share a track with us called Poison, which this is the world debut of, right? You guys have
Yes,
never
indeed.
played. Nobody's heard
Never
this.
heard before.
This
My
is
mom
very
hasn't even heard it.
What? She'll have to listen to our offensive podcast to listen to it.
We'll have to explain to her how to do that. But
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And this is from an EP you guys have coming out in the summer, fall, sometime like that. Not named yet. So we'll wait to hear what the name of that is. And if people want to find out about more shows and the release of that EP, they can head up to www.pettyindulgences.net to find out more, right?
Correct.
Absolutely.
.net.
Excellent.
We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Pornhub, you name it. You can find us there.
You did name it. My goodness. I was going to say there's probably a Petty Indulgences on Pornhub, just for the record.
Oh, there is. There is. Mom,
It's
don't check
hidden
that
in one of those
site.
back pages right next to all the gun reviews.
So it's been a busy week this week. How's your week been, guys?
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far so good.
Awesome.
Are you guys sports fans at all?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
We've talked a lot about hockey recently, so I don't want to dwell on this, but Caps won the cup. We're very excited about
So
that.
I don't have time to go get a shot then while you do this.
No. This will be very quick, Adam.
Damn.
And I assume shot meant you just want to shoot yourself in the head whenever we talk about sports. But so this is interesting. Cup winning year. We've broken the DC curse. This just came out. Coach Barry Trotz gone. He's no longer with the team. The guy who won the cup, they were like, that's going to be a little
It's been
expensive.
enough.
Is this one of those no good deed goes unpunished sort of deals?
I think so. I mean, he just asked for money for winning, which seems like a simple thing to do, right? Like, hey, I just won a bunch of things.
Or at least a
money?
good opening negotiation bit, like,
right? Like,
you start
yes.
with money, you settle for like a new office, some new decorations, a new little tree in the corner or something. I don't know.
Like a llama.
Yeah,
right? Like,
seriously, pay the man, Shirley.
yeah, it seems like it's a no-brainer, even if it's just like, well, we're not even sure how well he'll do. We'll be like, we just want to hold on to that memory for a while until you suck. But he's gone, so we'll be going up. I think there's a assistant coach named Todd Reardon who's supposed to be very good. He might be stepping in. So we'll see. Up in the air about that. I have no idea what to expect from the Capitals next year now. Hopefully a parade, but who knows?
I'm a huge fan of continuity in sports.
Yeah.
I think when you make something work,
right,
you got to try to figure out how to keep as much of it together as possible. I mean, you're always going to have players that leave. You're going to have some turnover.
Right.
Coaches get opportunities. I think that might be what's at the root of this. I think maybe we had an associate head coach who was a hot commodity.
Yeah, maybe
and
so.
they said, okay, well, do we keep the latest model or?
But you only unjam the copier when it's jammed, right?
That is the truth.
Right, you don't just open up the side of it and just like start fucking with switches and stuff and being like, maybe this will make it copy faster.
That is the truth.
So
I don't get it. Pay the man. Pay the
but
man.
that's sad news. And then on the flip side of that, Adam, you have some great news. I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you didn't. Apparently, we are now going to have a new branch of the military, the Space Force.
Yeah, it's gonna come with action figures.
Yes.
I think
Entire
Yes.
toy line from Hasbro.
Yeah, that's Space Force. Just sounds like it's made up. It sounds like, and Trump is the one that announced this, right? So
Yeah.
it totally to me makes it sound like he's like, I don't know, how could we make them happy about something? How about a Space Force? That
Everybody
seems-
loves space.
Right.
Well, because if I read the article correctly, it started out not even involving him, just like people in the government saying, hey, like, we should try getting to the moon again sometime.
Yeah.
And hey, we should do a better job of keeping track of some of these new satellites going up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess he just decided to double down and go, no, Space Force.
Space Force. I like it. I like it. I like that he's now. I mean, this is his MO for everything, right? Because if you're like, hey, you know what we should do? We should get like a bucket of water. And he's like, let's get 10 buckets of water. Right? Like, he just doubles down. We did it. He's doing it with immigration right now. He's like, oh, we got to stop immigrants. He's like, let's take their kids away from them. Right? And then you're like, okay, it feels far. But he's like, no, it's good. Trust me, it's going to be awesome. And,
If I only had one complaint, though,
yeah.
Space Force is just not a good name.
No?
No.
You think he
had-
started with like, there was Air Force, and then he was like, well, to go along with that, along with our water force and ground force.
Water force.
I mean, you have how many decades of sci-fi that's already done this work for you, naming
Right.
all of your outer space militaries, and you had to go with the Saturday morning breakfast cereal style name?
Yeah, no. Well, that was the second choice. He started with vacuum force. Right? Right. There's no air up there. So that's obviously we're going to have to call it complete vacuum force.
I think
But
the
then
first
Dyson had to
order
have
was
a word
taken.
with him.
So
Which one was?
the first order? He couldn't go with the first
Yeah,
order.
right.
So
Right. I think that was like fifth down on the list was Space Force. He had already tried vacuum force. Second on there was the Empire. Right. And just, he was like, guy, I don't think we should do that, guys. I'm going to advise you against that.
Mr. President, you listed as number 4 just Halo.
Right.
That was the name of the game, not the Space
Yeah.
Force.
Exactly.
Space Force, I like that one. Damn
Space
it.
Marines. Right, like,
I gotta say though, one silver lining: if we get the space shuttle back with a bitchin' camo paint job,
right.
I think all is forgiven.
I don't.
All is forgiven.
I
As
don't-
it relates to Space Force, all is forgiven.
Right. I wouldn't put it past him either because I don't think he would understand that camo wouldn't work in space. Right. Like you would just paint it black. Right. That's what
Yeah. He wants to see it though. He's gonna want to see it. You
Yeah.
know he is.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
Or
rough.
gold plated.
Yeah, it's gonna chrome it. And then speaking of they're separating families, which is very sad. But somebody thinks that's a good idea, so good for them because they've pulled it off. I do know for a fact though, a lot of people are on the negative side of this particular piece of news where they're going to take immigrant children from immigrant families. Is that do I have that right, Adam?
It sounds more or less correct, yes.
Yeah.
Though, as always, I'm horrified about where you're about to take this.
Yeah, so that does sound really terrible. But I know several parents, and they would literally kill just for some quiet time. Like if they were to just say, like, we're going to take your kid, but just for the afternoon, I think everybody would be on
Where
board.
do we sign up?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is good idea, but just use that same infrastructure, but don't use it to like punish families, but to like help out other families.
It's basically government funded like nurseries is what I'm saying, right? Like,
So you basically want to fund like the daycare force.
yeah, it's exactly it. Yeah.
Daycare force.
Yeah, it's like the
nanny force.
It's the Rugrat Marines that I'm looking for. And I think that would be really popular, actually. I mean, it's interesting that a lot of the right would be against like state-funded childcare unless it's from somebody not in our country.
Right.
That seems like a weird dichotomy to be like, we won't watch your kids for free unless you're not a citizen, and then we will, even though you don't want us to.
I think the thing that frightens me, well, there are a number of elements of it that I find frightening, but
Sure.
the photo of the mural with the quote that was something
I
was
saw
like,
that.
you may have lost the battle. I'm like, is this so you got Donald Trump's face,
Yeah.
and the American flag and the White House,
Yeah.
and then a quote about you
me
may
look up
have
that
lost
quote.
the battle, but what message is that sending to kids? It's like, listen, I know this is a tough break for you right now,
Yeah.
but if you're really feeling sore about it, just circle back to us when you get some muscles, get some meat on your bones, kid.
Exactly.
It's like, that's not what I want to tell the kids.
And now you know, right?
right.
It's a public service announcement. What you need are guns. That's what we're teaching them.
yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, that's basically the week. So very excited to have you here again. For all the people who missed the first part of the show, in case you just jumped in the middle of a podcast like people do.
Weirdos.
Yeah. We have Phil and Kike from Petty Indulgences here. They have a show Saturday, June 30th at the Vinyl Lounge down in Washington, D.C. We got your EP coming out at the end of the summer, early fall. We're going to be playing Poison. If you want to hear that now, fast forward to the 1 hour mark of the show. You can listen to the entire track uninterrupted. If you want to find out more about them, jump up to pettyindulgences.net. You can see all their shows and when the EP actually comes out later this year. So without further ado, let's move on.
Just a little bit further ado. I feel like we need to say we're playing their song Poison, not the band Poison.
That's true.
Because that
We're
will
not
either
playing the band Poison.
either make our listeners immediately leave or attract the wrong kind of listeners.
Right.
Not our cover of Belle Biv DeVoe's Poison either. That's a
All right,
B-side
shut it
only.
down. Fuck this. I thought you said cover band. No, wait. I said cover band. You just said it wasn't Tom Petty. And so I was pretty certain we were going to get Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah, sorry. Not Tom Petty, not Belle Biv DeVoe, and there is no Every Rose Has Its Thorn in our repertoire yet. Phil.
All right, weather report it is, now that you've burst my bubble. All right, weather report, very simple. Everybody who's listened already knows this, but you might be new to it. We are going to give you a brand new job. Instead of being a cover band that doesn't play covers, you guys are going to be the editor-in-chiefs of a brand new publication. We, as your loyal and humble reporters, have scoured the internet for news that we think should make it into your publication.
Can't wait.
Yeah, sell like hotcakes.
Can't wait.
But you guys have to give it the thumbs up or thumb down and decide whether or not it's news and whether or not it makes it into your publication. All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, I'm going to start it off this week because I feel like it. There is a trend sweeping the nation right now, and it is called avocado toast. Have you guys heard of this?
Yes.
You have. See,
It sounds very
kids-
white.
Yeah, the kids know. Kike knows all the white trends.
Oh, I do.
It is a relatively healthy and delicious brunch item consisting of toasted bread smeared with the buttery innards of the alligator pear, which is another name for an avocado.
I like that.
Yes. However, as with all good things, some people have to ruin it for the rest of us. Enter the avocado hand. Now, I know this sounds like people leaving out the toast and just hand jamming the veggie into their hipster face, but that's not the case. It's actually a very serious injury. In fact, avocado hand is becoming so common that doctors in St. Thomas Hospital in London reportedly ready themselves for a post-brunch surge of avocado-related injuries on Saturday afternoons, with the cuts sometimes requiring surgery or even leading to serious nerve damage. The injury sustained with avocado hand is very similar to the one sustained when slicing a bagel incorrectly. Wait, avocado bagel. Write that down. That's going to be good. That's the new thing, and a lot more injuries.
Twice the injuries.
But basically, you hold it in your hand, you slice it with a knife, and you're an idiot. Which begs the question: how the hell are these people cutting their avocados? Like, are they using cleavers and taking a running start? I don't know.
Well, because the thing is, like, with the bagel, I can, you slice all the way through, so I can see if you're doing it wrong. You can slice that.
Right.
But the
and
avocado's got that giant fuck off baseball sized pit in the middle.
Right, and you'd have to miss that somehow and just go right into your hand. I don't know how much of a rush you were in, but this is a time you may want to slow down for a minute because.
So not only is it incredibly white, it's like incredibly white infomercial.
Right,
level.
it is. Are you having problems cutting your own avocado without slicing your fingers off? We have the solution, idiot. Like,
Exactly.
The fact that we have a name for it because it's so prevalent is embarrassing. We used to have a name for this when I was a kid, and it was called being stupid. And now, like, you have a knife pointed at your hand. Just take a moment, and not slice your hand off. I don't know why you think you need to like give it a swipe. I don't know if you're trying to fruit ninja that bitch, but just take a moment. Put it on the counter if you're not sure about your own abilities to control the speed of a knife, right? Like, I have cut avocados in my hand, and I have yet to have any injury at all because I just go slowly. I've done it with a plastic knife. You don't need a lot of force, people.
Also, Victor, if you're listening to this is not an invitation to come into the post-production and tell them some of my stupid, idiotic things I've done with a knife. Continue.
Yeah. So, it is ill-advised. Please, I hope none of our listeners do this to themselves because I want to like you. All right, I want to be proud of you for listening to the show and being supportive of us, and I don't want to have to ban you because you're an idiot who's cut your own hand off. There are times that it happens. This should not be one of them because you see it coming. So the question is it news?
I would say it's news. Yes.
Yeah,
it would make paper.
It's important, right? It's a public service.
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent.
I want an op-ed,
Extra
and I want you to write
infomercials
it.
suddenly becoming real.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can do that, dude. I all I've wanted is my shot in this line of work, and I really feel like I'm ready.
You're hired.
I'm already hired. I'm your reporter. All right, Adam, what do you got for me?
So I'm actually going to leave the location off the beginning of this article. You tell me where you think this
Florida.
is from.
Yeah, Germany.
Man arrested for stealing human toes from dead body exhibit.
San Jose. Changed my mind.
Nope, it's actually New Zealand, believe it or not.
What?
A New Zealand man stole human toes from a dead body exhibition. The incident occurred last month when he visited the Body World's Vital exhibition in Auckland on May 4th and allegedly swiped the toes, and here's the kicker, which were valued at $5,500 each, US.
What?
What shocks me is not that a man wanted to steal some toes, because let's face it, we're all into something, and quite often that something is fucking horrible. No, what shocks me is that these toes are worth $5,500 a pop.
How much are they worth if they're still alive? Because I don't think I need pinky toes. I'm pretty certain I could let go of that pretty quick.
Were they dipped in gold? What the fuck happened to these things? And then it makes me wonder why grave robbing wasn't a more lucrative business.
How much for a finger? I've got a kidney that I probably can get away with because I've got another one. I might be able to use this for a down payment on something.
I'm keeping all my toes and both of my kidneys. I'm definitely going to need my kidneys, but I could part with a finger.
A finger,
under the right
you think
circumstances.
so?
Yeah. I got one as it is. It's a bum that I could get rid of it at the second knuckle, no question.
Phil, is there anything you would go without for the right price?
Well, I need my fingers, but I might part with the toe.
You think you go with the toe?
I might part with the toe.
Like anything else? An ear maybe? You just
yeah.
You got that one that doesn't work, Aaron. So maybe you
Yeah.
could get rid
No,
of
I'm
that
keeping
one.
it though for
You could
aesthetic reasons.
just go for the hole, right? Just like a seal, right? No, you don't think
No.
so. Okay.
No,
All right.
I still haven't relinquished the idea of getting it pierced at some point. So,
All right,
that
fair
could be a
enough.
thing that comes back. And if it does, I want to be ready this time. I'm out of the house now. I'm living
Yeah.
on my own.
Oh,
I don't have to ask permission
Living
like
the
I did in the
dream.
90s.
so that was a while ago. The fact that you just moved out now is unfortunate.
Oh, no, I've been out for a while. I just haven't worked up the courage to get my ears pierced yet.
When I'm 60, I am gonna go into that piercing place.
Full sleeve tats, ears pierced, doing it real.
So it's a great
Doing it right.
investment plan, but is it news?
I'd say if I'm writing if I have a Maori language paper, that was a terrible accent. I do apologize to
what
the
was
good
that?
people of New Zealand and New England for that matter. Any listeners, that was supposed to be my New Zealand accent.
Really?
If I had a Maori language paper,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm putting that story in there.
Okay. Are you gonna have a Maori language paper?
I can't rule it out. They're charming
Fair
people.
enough. They are. Yeah.
Charming people, and they deserve good, clean media.
Clean media
So,
about toes.
About toes, especially.
So do you think it makes it in?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. At least we're gonna have a Maori section. Is what you're saying.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. 1-1. We're all tied up here.
Not that we keep score.
All right, gentlemen, answer this question here. What do lube... This is getting good already, I know.
I'm interested.
Sprite and chicken Alfredo have in common.
Oh, God. I don't want to know.
Okay.
They're all delicious.
It depends on the flavor. Because that, like, cranberry, like, Sprite, that's terrible. If you said they could cause you to register as a tier 1 sex offender, you were right.
Oh, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
That math checks out.
At least that is what 23-year-old Ohio resident Albert Myrna found out when he propositioned another undercover police officer pretending to be an underage boy with the same 3 items. Yes. Little did you guys know, chicken Alfredo is often considered the roses and chocolates of the pedophile world, which means Sprite
And here I thought
is-
it was cheese pizza.
Yeah, no, which means Sprite is the champagne of sodomy. I'll be honest, the lube feels like overkill. I don't know why he brought that.
I'm trying to figure out how that was used to proposition the kid. Like, hey, kid, do you want some Sprite? I can
Yeah,
understand.
I like
hey, kid,
Sprite.
you want some chicken Alfredo?
I
can
love
understand
chicken
that.
Alfredo.
Hey, kid, do you want some lube?
What's lube?
Exactly.
Right. I don't know what lube is because I'm not an undercover cop.
This happened in Ohio?
This happened in Ohio, yes.
Yeah, any of those 3 things could probably get you on the sex offender registry in Ohio. Sorry, Ohio.
Could
Sorry.
it get
It's true.
you a date in Ohio as well? Like, was he going on the right lines for Ohio?
Cincinnati?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you think so?
It's got to be better than that fucking chili, I'll tell you that much. I'm
but
sorry,
here's the
Ohio.
real-
I'm sorry.
But here's the real unreported story.
Yeah.
There is supposedly a cop who looks like he could be an underage boy.
Well, okay.
How
I
much
didn't-
shit do you think he gets in the locker room?
You shouldn't have a gun. Why do you have a gun? No, it was online. He was doing an online sting. So
Okay, I was about to say, Captain, I've cracked the whole case. Oh, look at the little detective. Did you crack the case wide open?
I did. No, I'm a grown man, for fuck's sake. Although that just has to be awkward when you show up to like the catch a predator like set and you're like, hey, and they're like, I gotta put some laundry in. And you're like, I'm just gonna put the chicken Alfredo here on the dining room table and
Next to the Sprite and the bucket of lube.
Right. That way you can't hold on to it.
And then the guy comes around the corner and says, "Why don't you have a seat over here? Let's
Yeah.
talk." It's like, oh no,
No, that
I've
guy's-
seen you from somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know I recognize you.
You know, if it had been that show, the first question would be, is it all right if I eat this Alfredo? Like, I mean, you're not going to need it, right?
I mean, where I'm going, I ain't going to get anything like chicken Alfredo, so might as well just start digging in right there on camera.
That's what you start doing. He's asking you questions like, so who were you planning on meeting? You're like, I can't have a full of Alfredo. You just shove it in your mouth. Polite. And then, are you going to answer our question? I'm eating. I can't. Sprite. All right, so We know that it is very good to take a seat before you eat your chicken Alfredo. But is it news?
Phil, what do you think?
I think it's definitely news.
Definitely news. Excellent.
Human interest.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to concur. My Maori language Ohio newspaper needs to cover these topics.
It's got quite a distribution at this point.
Yes, it does.
All right, I'm out ahead, Adam. Your turn.
Well, I think I'll make it up because I've got the one type of article that is required to be on every podcast.
Yes.
Florida man
Here we go.
asks cops to make sure his meth is up to speed.
It's just a pun.
Yep. Fearing his meth dealer may have ripped him off by selling him some less than pure methamphetamine, a Florida man contacted his local sheriff's office so he could get the drugs tested so he could possibly press charges against his dealer. As you might imagine, the police were more than happy to oblige.
Yeah.
Upon the drugs testing positive for being, well, drugs, the Florida man was arrested. The sheriff's office did follow up the incident with the following statement. Remember, our detectives are always ready to assist anyone who believes they were misled in an illegal drug purchase.
I think
That's just good community service.
It is. I think there's several police departments that advertise that they will test your drugs for free.
It's community policing at its finest.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because if you fall for that, you should go to jail.
Truly.
Not because you did drugs, but because
You need some serious help.
Right. Because I'm concerned about your safety if you try to cut an avocado. Let's just put it that way.
Truly.
See, just to save you from yourself. Yeah, that's I don't know why that works. That should never work.
The number of stories where people call the police when they have to know that the thing they're calling the police about is going to get them in trouble.
Right.
Like, did you try the meth and then you were a good ways into the meth and then you decided you weren't sure about it? Or what happened there?
No, he had to already be mid-tweak when this idea occurred to him.
Which meant it was good, right? At that point.
Like, he'd answered his own question at that point.
Yeah, he tested it. I think what it is the people on one side of the bell curve forget that on the other side of the bell curve, there are people, right? That's,
Truly.
in order for it to be a bell curve, there are those two edges that kind of flatten out there. And sometimes it's hard to remember that, like, there's a Stephen Hawking over here who can tell you the secrets of the universe.
And then there's
on
a Florida man over there.
Side, there's somebody who's the opposite of him who can talk fine, but can't do the thinking bit.
It's true. It's true.
There's all the motor skills.
Decent odds that person rolled downhill to Florida.
Right. Exactly.
Decent odds.
All right. So that was news, right? We made that in?
That's definitely news.
Is it making in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty easy here.
I think we're just going to tell them that it's a community service. Contact your police department if you have any concerns.
That's A1 below the fold. That's definitely news.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
So we've got
Ah!
it. There you go. We still need a front page one then, if you've got A1 below the fold.
That's true.
You don't want it to be blank and then the first thing is below the fold. It's not a good publication. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job.
No, you're making a fine point.
All right, we're running out of time, so we're gonna go through the kind of speed round instead of the big setup. I'm gonna give you the we're gonna give you the headlines. If you have some questions and you need some clarity, no problem. We may not have that clarity for you, but feel free to ask. I'll get started. Here's the headline. Just close your eyes and imagine this in your publication. All-you-can-eat restaurant closes after customers eat too much.
No.
No.
Can't print that.
No.
Can't print it.
Ah, dang.
print
I
it.
felt really good about that one.
I like it. I'm curious to know more.
Yeah.
But I've been a part of that party.
Well, the Chinese hot pot restaurant in China started out by offering a month of unlimited food for $25 starting June 1st.
A month?
A month, yeah. $25 is more money in China.
That's good point.
But just in
Sounds
2
like my
weeks,
brother and I need to go to China.
Yes.
Because we
just
have made restaurants regret all-you-can-eat deals before.
Yeah, in just 2 weeks, the Jamineer restaurant racked up $100,000 in debt because apparently people got their membership cards and then just started like giving them to their friends and their family members when they weren't using it. So everybody came in and got free food even if they didn't pay.
Yeah, you got to wreck the braised short ribs at every opportunity.
Exactly.
Got to do it.
All right, what do you got, Adam?
Truck crash scatters Fireball whiskey across Arkansas highway.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that one.
So it cleaned it. That's all that did. They have a clean highway now, right?
But the
Just
smell probably would have been unbearable.
disinfected is what's happened.
Arkansas,
No,
though?
honestly, I thought the most important thing about this story was that it actually made you remember that, oh, yeah, Arkansas is a place.
Things happen there.
It's a place with at least 450 feet of newly adopted highway. I think we can safely say that.
They should have to.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't melt through the pavement.
Seriously.
All right, is it news?
Yes.
Yeah, all right,
Yes.
that's in.
If you
All
got
right,
a
take the
photo,
lead.
I'm thinking A1 above the fold. I
Hey,
don't know.
there we
Tipped
go.
over Fireball truck.
You might have the entire front page, Adam. All right, last but not least for me, soda company owner behind the new Not C Cola says outrage is overreaction. It's not C. It's a clear cola. You can't see it because it's clear. So it's not C Cola.
Oh, John Cena cola.
It's not C Cola.
This is so bad.
Not C Cola.
Wait, did they borrow that
Oh.
name from the movie Tusk?
No, I think it was from the 40s. I think that's where they
They borrowed it from the 40s.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, so despite its Nazi-like eagle logo, it was apparently supposed to just be a play on words about the clear cola. Just like their other two sodas, Leninade and Orthodox Juice. Orthodox
Oh,
Juice.
no.
Wait, I've
No,
actually had
juice.
Leninade. Is this are you being serious that it's the same company?
Yeah, same company. Yeah, they have the same similar wordplay backgrounds. Leninade actually has a really good tagline, which is a taste worth standing in line for. Which
Oh.
I assume it's served cold. That's all I know.
I like it.
It's actually kind of good.
Yeah, I didn't see a tagline for the Orthodox Juice, but it's a grape soda, which I hope to God is not from concentrate. That's all I'm just hoping.
Oh my God.
That's because that would be in bad taste, right? We'd all agree on that that would be really unfortunate.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
because concentrate just doesn't taste as good as a real thing.
right.
Oh
So
my
just-
God.
I'm just saying that
My
I'm on
mind.
that side, right? I know that sounds offensive, but I'm saying that would be offensive, and we
Yes.
would all be offended by that.
That would be over the line.
Right, that would be
Yes.
over the line if I had I had
Yes.
said that as a thing, but I was saying it as that shouldn't be a thing, so it's fine.
Not a thing.
Yeah, okay.
Also, this is
so
where I need to point out that when we started this show, I was supposed to be the horrible one.
So is it news?
Do we want to give them free advertising by putting them in the paper like that? I don't know.
We did hear that the Leninade was delicious, though. So
Yeah.
I'm torn. Mm-hmm. I'm torn. This is why I hire an assistant editor to figure this all out.
That's true. I don't believe the Leninade is preservative free. Just so you know, I think just something to keep in mind.
Wow. The mind reels,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. The mind reels.
Is that what? I just want to warn people in case they think it's like all natural. Yeah. Silence is terrible because I'm gonna make up more horrible things.
I think it can't be a story. I
No.
can't print it. I can't do it. I want to.
All right.
want to.
That's fine. Adam, finish us off.
Last but not least, Achilles the Psychic Cat correctly predicts winner of first World Cup game.
What? Psychic cat.
That's
Yes,
the
I
last
know it's
thing
hard to
anybody
believe that a
wants.
cat of all things managed to have more interest in a sport that most of America hasn't caught up to yet, but
Yeah.
apparently it's true.
Yeah, I feel like there was a story last World Cup where an octopus predicted it. I
Yeah.
think that was also the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I forget its name, but it was definitely an octopus, and it was good.
Yeah.
You know, you could have gone to Vegas with this octopus.
Yeah, it was
We're
very
in a
good.
long flight, but a long, weird, uncomfortable flight,
Yeah, and a strange
and
carry-on.
a lot of questions. but
So, is it news?
Russian cat picks World Cup winners.
Is it a Russian cat? I didn't catch that.
Yes,
It is.
lives in the
yeah.
St. Petersburg, Russia.
There you go, Russian cat.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I've been following this story pretty closely, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As an editor for a paper in the liberal media, anything involving Russians is going to make my paper for at least the next however long the Mueller investigation
Or
lasts.
cats.
So yes.
People like cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say anything with cats, but
Drives traffic.
No,
your way.
anything
Yeah.
with Russians, that makes the paper.
so Russian
sure.
cats are just the
Yeah.
silver bullet for
Yeah.
ratings.
Absolutely.
So you're perfect, Adam. You
Yep.
got everything in the. I missed 2, so you win this week.
I'm
Nice
perfect,
job,
and I
guys.
got 4 out of 4.
Yeah, very good.
It's good stuff.
So here's the big question, though. We've now got a paper that has a lot of different pieces into it. It's going to be in New Zealand. It's going to be in Cleveland or Cincinnati, I guess is what it was. So, gentlemen, what is the name of this new publication?
The Petty Tribune.
That makes sense because of the name of your band.
I like that. I was going to go with the Maori Sun Times. I redeemed myself slightly, just slightly.
That's all right. So how do you guys-
Compared to some of the things that Keith has said so far, anything is kind of redeeming at this point. So.
Yeah. Well, this is why people listen to this alone. They don't,
Yep.
not with friends, because they don't want to. You don't want your friends to see you laughing about what I said.
That and most of our listener base is the kind of people that just don't have friends.
That's also the case, yeah. But we'll be your friends, guys. So don't worry too much about it. All right. So moving on. How'd you guys feel like you did? Did you feel that was good?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to sell some papers.
All right.
Yeah. I
think we got a
excellent.
future.
Maybe
in this
not in
business.
Auckland or Christchurch, but everywhere else, we're going to sell some papers. Yeah.
Excellent. So, speaking of news that's going to be coming out shortly, you guys have a new EP that you guys are working on right now. How far along is that?
We're close. We're basically at the mastering stage now.
Okay, so you've laid down all the tracks.
Yeah, it's
you've
tracked.
done the mixing.
It's
You've got the
mixed.
mastering happen. Do you have the artwork figured out?
We've got some great ideas. I want to shout out our bass player, who is
Yeah?
also a fantastic graphic designer. Noah, if you're listening, thank you for all that you do on the bass and off. Yeah, we've got some great ideas. I think I told you when we were in our pre-production meeting, we lost our title track. It was originally going to be the Truth Telling Time EP, and we had a fatal calamity with the track.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. Our
was it
producer,
an avocado-related incident?
It might have been. It might have been. Our producer engineer, shout out to Chuck. A lot of folks actually in our neck of the woods would probably know Chuck.
Who's
Chuck Ronan.
Chuck Ronan. Where does
used
where
to
does-
live here.
Okay.
Played drums in the Issue for a good spell.
Where are you recording? Where did you record all this?
Miamisburg, Ohio. Actually.
What?
Yeah.
Miamisburg.
Yeah, it was a nice drive. Other than the speeding ticket I got on the way
that's
out, it was
right.
good stuff.
That sounds like a city from another state where they were like, we need a name. I
Yeah.
like Miami. And they're like, that's going to get confusing. Let's call it Miamisburg.
That's not the first
Totally
time
different.
that's happened in Ohio. Actually, that it is complicated. Yeah, but yeah, it's right outside of Dayton. We had a great time there. A couple gorgeous pups running around while we were relaxing a little bit.
I think there's like
Had a
a
few
school.
beers.
There's one in like Pennsylvania. Isn't there like Miami University of Indiana in Pennsylvania or something like that? There's some really
There's gotta
confusing
be.
one. I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah, because there's like Indiana University, Purdue University of Indianapolis.
Yeah. So
It's like I think you could have just called it Indiana State, and it would have been clearer than that.
Yeah, I
you
know.
Basically, trying people to go to your school the same way that people would accidentally buy the wrong movie at Blockbuster. Silent would put out something with a very similar title. It's like I got a new Purdue. Oh no, I got a new Purdue of. Fuck.
Yeah. No, I think it's like Indiana University of Miami, but it's in Pennsylvania, and you're just
Yeah.
like, what? What?
Yeah.
You
that
had
happen?
so much to work with, and you missed it twice, right? Like,
Yeah.
so that's exciting. So you were out of state doing this. You came back. You got everything done there. It sounds like this is going to be dropping late summer, early fall.
Yeah, that's correct.
And
That's
you have
correct.
a track called Poison, which is that going to be the single off of the album? Do you know?
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Yeah,
good
that's
choice.
why it's making its world premiere
World
on this
premiere!
podcast.
Yes, we're very
Yeah.
excited to do that. And we have a lot of world premieres. I don't know why. That's how popular we are. Be prepared for the Another Wasted Hour bump, where you soar into relevancy because of our tiny little show.
You're the
It has
DJ
nothing to
Khaled
do with
of
the
Northern
line you're going to be
Virginia.
forced to do with Keith after the show.
Right. It happens. So what we want to do is listen to a little chunk of this. Do you want to set up this track? Obviously, we found out that it is not a Belle Biv DeVoe track, which is very disappointing. So what is Poison about? Tell me about this track.
Well, it was just something we were noodling around with at practice. Like most of our songs sort of fall out that way.
You were noodling around with Poison in
Exactly.
practice.
Noodling around with Poison.
Yes,
that
we
seems
do.
dangerous.
Strychnine. We'll strychnine.
And so, what is it about?
Sure. I think just clicking back out a little bit, I think, if I'm going to say one sincere thing on this podcast,
I'd leave it to that, just one.
Yeah, just the one thing. It's such a treat to be in this band for me, because obviously I write most of the lyrics and I sing, and I get an incredible sort of wave from these guys. I mean, they play their asses off live. They play their asses off at practice. Like, we have a great time. And so I get to write about stuff that is really important to me.
Yeah.
And this particular song, I guess the best way I would sum it up is it's about when you reach that point where you've given more than you can give to somebody who isn't reciprocating.
Yeah.
And I think, I think it's something that everybody has kind of gone through.
Oh, yeah. I think we've all been on that side of things. Yeah.
Yeah. And
pretty universal.
At some point, you have to give yourself permission to just say, okay, wait a minute. We're spinning our wheels here.
Yeah.
We're spinning our wheels here. And if I stay in the situation, that's my fault.
Right.
I can't blame you for my bullshit. I'm owning my part of this and recognizing that it's dysfunctional.
That makes
And this
sense.
is the
All
part
right.
of the podcast where we revealed to Phil why we really got him all to, sit down with us in this dark basement in the middle of the week.
Yeah, Phil, it's just not working. I'm sorry.
Phil, you're going to have to get rid of your roommate, buddy.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Best roommate ever.
All right, well, let's take a listen to this track. Again, this is a track called Poison. It'll be coming out on an EP later this summer or early fall. Is a track by the band Petty Indulgences. You know what I like about this track? Energy. This is just has such a great drive to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's good. It's it has kind of that that very kind of modern. I don't want to say happy, but that kind of major feel to it. But there's some kind of hint of the 90s there, I think. And I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of that. Not grungy kind of stuff necessarily.
Yeah.
But kind of
yeah.
just after that, it feels like. And I can't remember. There's I know there's a song in my head that I'm like, oh, it's kind of like that band or that feel. And I can't put my finger on it, but has that really catchy riff to it, which is great. Phil, is that you? What do you?
That is. Yeah.
Nice job, Phil.
Yeah.
And then obviously we know who's singing. So Kike, excellent on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you guys want to hear the entire track, fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this particular podcast, and you can listen through to its entirety and then come back and join us because I have to say we're about to hit the most embarrassing and unfortunate part of our show. So everybody hold on to your butts because it is time for Please God, Just Get One Right. Yes, just
One.
please. What we've done is we have gotten a category from the guests before you, and so I think that was Chris, right? Chris Aaron was our guest last week, and he had gotten the category of acoustics. Which was given to him by Adam, who was our special guest the week before.
Because I'm that kind of bastard.
Yes, he had to suffer through that. He picked that because he just finished putting his studio together, so he had to do all the acoustic treatment and everything. And so Chris was able to get one, I think, right? Yeah, he got one because he got a beard of bees as his as his prize. If you get one right, you get to choose a prize from our prize sack. So that's very exciting. You just reach your hand in my sack, and then you pull out a prize, and they're all very good for other people.
So wait, hang on. Before we start,
Yeah.
you had a beard of bees in your sack?
Yes, I had a beard of bees in my sack.
That sounds itchy
It was.
and sticky.
Well, yeah.
I did.
Keith
Yeah.
is just a really disappointing Santa Claus who's not allowed within 500 feet of a playground.
That's true. When my girlfriend calls me honey, it's for a reason. I'm just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, the podcast just got blue.
So, would you guys like to know what your category is?
Please.
I think so. Yeah.
So, it fairly obvious. The category is beards. Yes, Chris Aaron chose beards to torment you guys with. So let's get started. I have a beard question for you. The pirate Blackbeard terrorized the seas in the late 1600s and early 1700s. That's not a question. He got his nickname from Henry Bostock, one of his victims. What was the real name of the pirate Blackbeard?
I should totally know this.
Really?
Why? Yeah.
I
I
wouldn't
played
know it.
Assassin's Creed. I should know this.
Oh.
I should know this.
If you did
No.
get this, I was going to ask if you got it from Black Sails or Assassin's Creed. So
I should know this.
Yeah. Anyone?
It's not Charles Bonny, is it?
It is not Charles Bond.
no.
Phil, do you want to jump
I
in?
have no idea.
I would just make up a funny one then.
I don't have one of those either.
Well done, Phil. Nicely done. In the pinch. No, his name is Edward Teach. Edward Teach.
Edward Teach.
That was Blackbeard.
Brutal.
All right, so you got 5 more to go. That's all right. There's still
Great.
an opportunity, and you just need one right. Adam,
Honey, if you're listening, I'll be playing more Assassin's Creed now.
he has to win a prize.
Research.
It turns out that a phobia of beards is a real thing. What is the technical name for a fear of beards?
We're not going to get one right,
I'll
are
give
we?
you a
The
hint.
game.
I'll give you a hint. It ends in phobia.
We're not going to get
Just
one
like
right, are
every one
we?
of my relationships. I mean,
This
what?
is looking grim.
Yeah. Anything?
Phobia of beards. Folliculophobia.
Oh, that's good. That's nice guess.
Yeah, let's go with that.
You're going with that?
I suspect it's wrong, though.
Phil-
Anytime someone says nice guess, that means you're wrong.
Your,
Phil
your
didn't-
suspicions are correct, anyways. No,
Yeah.
the answer we were looking for was pognophobia.
I was going to go with beardophobia.
Yeah, that crossed my mind as well. Yikes. 0 for 2.
Yes. I was going to go with Galifianakisophobia. And that's wrong, apparently. All right. Who was the last U.S. president to sport a beard while he was in office?
Ooh. This is a good one. I should know this one too, because I play a lot of Assassin's Creed.
All history from
Wow.
Assassin's Creed.
Let's see. It wasn't Ulysses S. Grant.
I think he had a beard, right?
Yeah, he
Grant
did.
had a
He had a
beard.
good, well-groomed beard, as I recall.
But Lincoln would have come after that, right? Was Grant
No,
before or
before.
after Lincoln? No, Grant was
After.
after Lincoln.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Garfield.
Strong.
When I don't know, I pick Garfield.
McKinley.
McKinley.
Oh,
that is a president.
Solid.
You had to look
Solid.
like, is that the name of a president or is it just a mountain?
What was the guy from the West Wing's name?
Right.
Drawing a blank. Bartlett, I believe.
Denali. No, that's a mountain. That's
no,
Everest.
no.
President Everest.
President Hood, perhaps.
1893.
Ooh.
That's when he was in office. You don't get the credit for this one if you get it, but do you have a guess now that you know the time period? 1893.
I'm gonna go with Garfield still.
Yes, I didn't say you got it. Instead, I gave you a hint. Just to throw you off.
Is it Ponto?
Pontchartrain.
Ponto. Ooh, 1893. That's gonna be a tough one. I don't have it. I don't have
No,
it.
nothing.
90, I know. Taft, I don't know.
Nice. You do know president, so that's good.
Right, that's like 2 of 45. That's
It's
pretty good.
Benjamin Harrison, actually. Benjamin Harrison. Last
My next
bearded
guess.
The
president.
forgotten Benjamin Harrison.
Uh-huh.
I was about to say, I don't remember ever hearing about him in history class at all.
He didn't last long, right? Is he the one that like died off pretty quick?
In a bathtub, I believe.
No.
Full of chicken Alfredo and lube.
Right, just full of avocados, stab wounds all over himself.
We're tying it all together in this segment, folks. We're not going to get anything right, but every previous segment will be referenced.
Yes. All right, Adam.
Supposedly introduced in 1535, Britain instituted a beard tax with the penalty to be paid based on your social status. Under whose reign was this tax introduced?
1535.
We're going to go over, aren't we?
Uh-oh.
This is brutal.
You won't be the first.
1535.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Beard tax. Super important moment in history.
Shout out to Chris Herring. I'm going to go with
Chris-
King Bill Shakespeare. Put that in place. He was
Charles de Gaulle.
the second manager of the New York Yankees who instituted a beard tax.
Phil, anything?
I'll give you a hint. There's a really terrible English song about him.
Oh, not
Henry
Henry
VIII?
VIII.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Henry VIII.
Should we have been asking for hints the whole time?
No. You don't
I was
get it
starting
after
to
the
feel
hint.
bad. But
We
yeah,
just
you
want
got
you to-
one right.
Yeah, you did
Sort
good.
of.
Yay!
I'll give him that one.
All right, last one for me. A young American beardsman stunned the bearding world at the 2017 World Beard and Mustache Championships in Austin, Texas, by taking first place in how many of the 27 available categories?
27.
Final answer?
I was going to go with all of them, yeah.
You're right! It's 27!
What?
They got first place in every single one. You got it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got one.
We get to reach into a sack. We get to reach into a sack.
Yes. All right. Well, it's icing now. Adam, I'm going to go grab the sack. You give them the. I'm going to grab my sack while you ask them the last question.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you scoring at home, he is going to grab his sack.
Don't mind me. Just grabbing my sack.
He's grabbing his sack now. Oh, the umpire's going to have words with him.
Adam, what is it?
Widely believed to be the record holder for the world's longest beard, Hans Langseth's beard was measured to be how long in 1927?
1927.
Yeah.
Hans Langerhofer.
Yes.
I'm going to say 17 feet long. He had a 17-foot long beard that he would curl around him for warmth at night.
Bill?
Phil, you jumping in at all?
That seems a bit excessive, but
Yeah?
It gets cold in Bavaria, man. So I've heard.
well, let's go with that then.
Okay, we're going with that.
Oh, it was really damn close. 17 feet, 6 inches.
Yeah, you were super close.
Huh?
Nicely
I
done.
almost
How
got
is
to
that
reach into
possible?
the sack with both hands.
You could have caressed the sack with both hands. All right.
Feeling them. Feeling them.
We're going to split duties here. Somebody's going to have to think about a new category. Somebody else is going to have to reach into the sack, close your eyes, reach into the sack of fun, and pick out your prize.
Sack of
I'm
fun.
closer
Yeah.
to the sack of fun.
Okay, you're going with the sack of fun. This is, look, it says best gift ever.
We'll see.
So close your eyes, reach into the sack of fun.
Oh.
KK, what are we doing for our next category?
Well, I don't know if I'm not supposed to reveal this or
No,
if I
tell us.
can, but
Yeah.
since I'll just go a little inside
have
podcast
our
baseball
permission.
here. We are recording this on Juneteenth, which is a very special day that not a lot of Americans know about. So
No.
I will choose for the category obscure holidays.
Obscure
Pure
holidays.
Okay.
I like it. Okay. Obscure holidays. What is Juneteenth, by the way?
Juneteenth is the date
Oh, you got it.
in Texas, which was, I want to say, 2 years after the Civil War ended, when the very last enslaved people in the United States found out that they were free. It was
Nice.
2 years after the Civil War.
That's a
Did they
great
forget
holiday.
Forget to tell him?
That's
Two
sucks.
Yeah,
years.
it's like
Yeah.
the messenger was delayed.
He was also white. That was part of the problem.
Well, he was actually murdered.
Yeah.
Little Juneteenth history for you. The
Oh.
messenger was murdered.
You're not supposed to kill the messenger.
Yeah.
All right, what did you get from the sack of fun?
A deluxe tongue scraper.
Oh,
there
It
you go.
removes tongue fur.
Yeah, you don't want tongue fur unless
No.
you're in Bavaria and it's cold. Right?
That's when you want all the tongue fur you can get.
Tongue
Right.
beard.
17 and a half feet of it.
Well, congratulations, guys, on
I'm just terrified
you.
what makes a tongue scraper deluxe.
it's not sharp. That's because you'd get avocado tongue. All right, so we've got about 5 minutes left or so. So let's jump into our segment called Near and Far. This is where we're going to learn a little more about you guys as people and musicians, dig into what it means to be a member of Petty Indulgences. So we have 2 stories from you, one near or close to home, one far out on your adventures on the road. Let's start with near. My understanding has to do with skinheads.
That is correct. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. In your house.
We're both rock and roll lifers, as most of you who have been in bands know. Very rarely do you meet someone and they're in their first band. So this is a story from back when I was in a band called Echo Canyon. I'm doing all the shout outs today. Shout out to Matt Dreyer, Torrance Gloss, and Greg Davis. Anyway, Matt and I played a solo show at a bar in Cleveland Park. And we were really excited. We were headlining and we were going to play acoustic since it was duo.
How long ago was this?
Oh, this has been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Were you still in your mom's house?
No.
Okay, after
no.
that. Okay.
I was virtually homeless at this point.
Okay.
And I was in a lot of houses actually.
You lived in Cleveland Park at the time.
I lived in a lot of houses at the time. I had a very Jewel thing going on there.
Nice.
Anyway,
well, I'm glad you fixed your teeth.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, we were really excited. You know, we got a booking and we said, okay, you know what? Let's support the other bands on the bill.
Of course,
Let's go early. So
Yeah.
we were playing acoustic. So Matt gets his 12 string and we head on down and we settle up the bar and get a beer. And then the opening band comes out. And
Yeah.
First of all, who books duo acoustic after a band? But second of all,
Yeah.
who doesn't mention that the opening band is all skinheads? Who leaves that part out? Cleveland Park? What's the deal with that?
That's a little hard to follow up with an acoustic act.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird night. We soldiered through it. We had a lot of beers that night, for sure. I was excited to escape with my life, and I'm pretty sure we did one of our songs into an acoustic version of a cover of Hendrix's Star Spangled Banner from Woodstock. So it was an odd night all around that we tried to salvage by being as weird as we possibly could.
Did it like crescendo? Were you the last act as well?
Yeah,
So
we were
it's-
the headliners, man.
And they were the openers. Was there anyone before them?
Yeah, actually, there. Yes.
Okay.
I just feel like we should come back when we have an EP release date, and I'll tell that story. But yeah, there was another band on the bill.
Okay,
who
you're
were
holding
not
on to that.
Skinheads.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that it crescendoed with skinheads, and then it just chilled out with a little American Pie or
Yeah,
something.
let's mellow it out.
Yeah,
let's mellow
that-
it out.
Did the
That's
skinheads
part.
stick around to enjoy your set and support as well?
They actually seemed like they were pretty into us.
Yeah?
it was
Polite skinheads.
weird. I
Nice.
didn't know how to feel about it, other than honored.
Maybe they were waiting to jump you when you got
Yeah.
out.
Well, we did find an alternative exit. We did.
We went through the
did.
chimney.
Yes. Reverse Santa.
All right. Well, that's crazy. For far, you guys said you have a story from New York City.
Yeah, not too far, but we went to New York.
New York is far
we,
for a lot of people. It's not when you're in a band, but if you're not in a band, going to New York is a hike.
And it was me and the bass player who was in our band now, Noah. We were at our previous band, and we played a show up there, and then we went to an all-night Japanese restaurant where we ordered like half the menu and had about a 3-foot tall bottle of sake.
Oh, right. Nice.
Stayed up all night. The drummer's mom
Yeah.
drove us back to the hotel with the turn signal on the whole way, hitting curves.
Oh,
and
ye old Florida
Oh, it was great.
rough.
It
She
was
could have
great.
turned at any moment. You don't know.
She was ready.
Yeah. She was throwing off the tail. That's what it was.
And then Noah, the bass player, might have a little snoring problem, so he had his CPAP machine.
Oh.
I slept in the bathtub. Let's just go ahead and say.
All right, well, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for your stories, guys. Once again,
Thanks for having us.
We have Petty Indulgences. They've got an EP coming out in summer fall. PettyIndulgences.net. You want to go check them out there for all upcoming information and everything. Also, Thursday, June 20th, Camille Miller at Gypsy Sally's in Washington, D.C. Jerome Williams at the Wharf in Washington, D.C. Friday, June 29th, Justin Shapiro at the Ugly Mug in Washington, D.C. Saturday, June 30th, Box Era at Nishi's in Buffalo, New York. Justin Shapiro at the Ugly Mug in Washington, D.C. I guess he does 2 nights. Mary Jo Maeda and Natty O'Brien's in D.C. The Vibesman at the Pier in Edgewater, Maryland. And Petty Indulgences at Final Lounge in Washington, D.C. Please like our post, follow us, retweet us, share the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We can't do this without you. Thank you so much for everyone with all your contributing. Thanks to Engineer Adam. Most of all, thanks to Petty Indulgences for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.